Space, the final frontier. Star Trek fans will recognize that quote. We are kicking off our discussion of astronomy with the most epic of topics, the Big Bang Theory. I'm calling this unit The Big Bang Theory and More because we will be exploring some other universe-related topics. I'm super excited to be starting with astronomy. I was and still am one of those people that would just occasionally stop and stare up at the sky and wonder all sorts of questions. You know, like how did they get there? When did they get there? What's going to happen in the future? You know, and looking, is that a galaxy? Is that a star, or a planet, or something else? I'm still very curious about astronomy and still learning a whole lot more. In fact, there are so many new space-related discoveries. They're happening all the time. If you look up astronomy-related news events, all kinds of cool discoveries. So hopefully when we're done with this unit, I can help explain some of those mysteries. One of the things that you should be able to do when we're done with this entire unit, not necessarily just this lesson, but the entire unit, is you should be able to identify the current theory for the origin of the universe and be able to explain the evidence that goes along with it. This is our big overall goal, what we call our essential outcome. We'll have smaller I can or player can statements or learning targets along our way too. In our first lesson on the Big Bang Theory and more, we're going to be taking a look at the universe. Our big goal, our essential outcome, is that you can identify the current theory or theories for the origin of the universe. We are going to have, so that's our overall goal for this unit, this quest. We are also going to have smaller learning targets along the way. Hi, this is Mr. Vanscoy. In this unit, we are going to be talking about space, the final frontier. Space is one of my favorite topics, especially growing up as a kid. I was one of those kids that would just stand and stare at the stars, look at those stars and kind of wonder what was going on. So hopefully in this unit I can help explain some of the mysteries of astronomy. So in this lesson, we are going to be talking about the Big Bang Theory and more, and we will be looking at our essential outcome, ES.01. So kind of our first mini lesson within the Big Bang Theory and more quest, we're going to talk about the universe. So when we are done with this unit, the player can describe the universe and its age. You can also describe how our understanding of the universe has changed over time. All right, we're going to start with the age. The universe and everything in it began 13.82 billion years ago, which is kind of a crazy number to understand. Really hard for us to wrap our brains around. I've got a little mini video I'll show you guys later kind of to try and put it in perspective for us. 13,820,000,000 years ago. Cosmology and astronomy really is the study of the universe, including its structure and past. And so we're already learning a bit about cosmology here when we talk about the age of the universe. Cosmologists study those structures both in the past and their present form, and even make some predictions about the future. The universe contains all star systems, galaxies, gas, dust, all matter and energy, both in the past, the present, and again looking at predictions on what form it might take in the future. Part of that study of cosmology. The universe also includes all of space and time. So kind of quite simply put, all of space and time. Or as astronomers and astrophysicists like to say, space-time. So astrophysicists considers space and time to be one thing, kind of one concept or idea. A little bit of a teaser on that, more info to come on that at a later date. The universe contains about 100 billion galaxies, not stars, galaxies. And within each of those galaxies, there's going to be millions or even billions of stars. So billions of galaxies with millions or billions of stars in it. This is actually kind of a new idea. This was not known to the public or even scientists until the last 100 years or less. Scientists like Hubble in the 1920s, when they were finally able to start engineering and building these really large telescopes, only then did we really start to realize just how big the universe is. Prior to that, we kind of had a smaller viewpoint of the universe. Here is a picture of the 100-inch Hooker telescope. I believe that's at Mount Wilson, the Mount Wilson Observatory. To give you a sense of scale here of how big that is, you have the picture on the left. On the picture on the right, you can see people standing on it as they're constructing it. Prior to that time, it was just physically impossible for us to manufacture these super big lenses that we needed to look into deep space. Our understanding of the universe has changed dramatically in our history. Prior to the last 100 years, and so, well, about 300 years ago, we had a geocentric idea that says the Earth is the center of the universe. That idea is completely wrong. We used to think that the sun, moon, and 5 planets were at the center of it all. A guy by the name of Galileo came along. He used telescopes, observations, reasoning, and math to come up with his conclusion that Earth is not at the center of it all. This got him in some serious trouble. Kind of as a side note, he was tried and found guilty of heresy and spent the second part of his life under house arrest. Now, this was 300 years ago, under house arrest, no app store, no Netflix, and no internet at all. He and others started to come up with this different idea, what's called a helio meaning sun or star. The helio or sun-centered revision stated that the sun and the solar system were the central unit. This was closer to the truth. They are, the sun is at the center of our solar system, but it wasn't quite right in that the rest of the universe doesn't revolve around us. Okay? It was later on that other scientists would come along and use more modern technologies and doing some more math to figure out that again, our solar system wasn't at the center of it. All right, so that's going to do it for us today. Hopefully you can now describe the universe and its age. You can also describe our understanding of the universe and how that has changed over time. If I've gone too fast for you to take notes on this, or if there's things you just want to listen to again, you can always rewind, pause, play it again, and if you just want to read it, I also have our slides and notes posted in Schoology. Hopefully that helped.